The stock market is about to close in less than 34 minutes at the time of recording this video, and the stock market is taking a dump. Hence the reason why this portfolio is taking a nosedive. That is not good because that is not in the direction we're trying to head. Remember, the goal is to try to get to 100,000 because that is the next major milestone for this portfolio, and I hope that you are along with me on this journey. Remember, yours might be 10,000. You might be at 100,000 trying to get to 200, or you might be at 1,000 trying to get to 10,000. It doesn't matter. The point here is we have a long-term approach that we're trying to stick to when it comes to investing, and hopefully that would get us to the goal. Your goal might be different from mine, but this is where I am at this point in this portfolio. So at the opening of the market this morning, this portfolio was around 54,366, and like I said, right now we're at 54,145, and with room to even go lower as long as the broad market keeps going lower. The reason for this is pretty clear. A lot of people are taking profits. There's a lot of rotation out of the tech, and of course it's the end of the year, less volume, so there's less of action in the market pretty much. With that said though, we are optimistic about 2026 because at the end of the day, all of this noise will settle and we're going to get a clearer picture of the year as the year unfolds, of course. Now, one of the things that I did today is to continue to buy the stocks that I normally would buy, whether it's $5 worth of shares of certain companies, $10 worth of shares, $25, depending on what is going on and what I've said here. And as you can see at the bottom right here, I have like the crypto, $25. I have IYH, I have Meta, Microsoft, SPYD. All of these are recurring buys that I occasionally would change the amount based on so many factors, the pricing, how low it's gotten, things like that. But one thing I always do is to consistently buy, whether it's just $5, whether it's $10, whether it's $15, $25, depending on the situation. Of course, we have a little problem, buying power. That is something that I need to work on to, of course, put some money into this. And this is something that is always holding a lot of people back from investing. Hence the reason why we need to have a way to continue to generate income, whether it's through our jobs, through side hustles, or through some, selling of things that we do not need anymore. And all of this are things that I actually do. At the same time, I also watch my expenses to cut back on things that I do not need so that I can actually fund this account. Remember, the goal is to get to that 100,000 milestone. Unfortunately, in the past couple of weeks, we've seen this downtrend. All right. So we were at 54.8, approaching 55 at some point, somewhere here. And of course, we started to trail off again. And now we are down to 54.1. The truth is, I'm not worried about any of this. Again, if we look out, if you're worried, zoom out. Let's look at 1 year. From the beginning of this year, 2025, this portfolio is up about 15%. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed because I lagged the S&P. The S&P 500 will close at around 17%. So this is about, give or take, 1.7% lower than the S&P 500. And in comparison to the NASDAQ, we're actually way off because NASDAQ is going to close at around 21% for the year. Now, all time, we're still looking really good, of course. We're up about 60, close to, just call that 59.6%. That is awesome. Now, how can we continue to repeat this process? The goal is to keep a long-term horizon, keep a long-term approach, and continue to dollar cost average when possible, buy the dip when possible. But of course, don't get greedy. Don't get stupid. In this case, there are times when I will do option plays when I see good, solid opportunities. I will either buy or sell options. But most of the time, I would buy when I see good opportunities. And those are things that you too can apply. But again, remember, you have to do what you're comfortable with. You have to do what you understand. And you have to do it with companies you truly understand. So that is exactly what I've done so far, and I would continue to do going forward. So what we are seeing right now is the dust settling. I believe come 2026, we are going to see a lot of new plays, especially when it comes to this AI race and when it comes to earnings. From the analysts out there, the goal is to see continual earnings from this AI. Remember, what they've been doing so far is spend. What we want to see is to start earning from the spent capital expenditures that they've made. So we'll see that hopefully in 2026, going into 2027. And as long as the earnings remain solid, these companies will continue to do well. But remember, we cannot control any of those things. What we can control is our own income, our spending, and stay consistent with our investments. If you want to continue to see more of these videos and see me go through this journey and get this account to 100,000, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, don't forget to like this video. Let me know in the comment section, what is your own next major milestone? Is it $1 million? Of course, that would be great. See you. Take care.